hashtag GTV Breakfast, hashtag GTV Ghana. That's the handle you should be following. We're going to talk money issues, and it's to do with our Cedi notes and coins. The Bank of Ghana is mandated by law to issue currency notes and coins as instruments for the payment of goods and services. It is legal tender and a liability of the central bank. In order to maintain its functionality, it's important to sustain the integrity, trust, and confidence in the currency, and this can be achieved through effective currency education on the authentication of genuine currency and of the proper handling of our currency. The bank has noticed that some of us do not do that. We do not handle our monies with care. We are not storing them where we are supposed to. We are not folding them like we are supposed to. And we are generally just deteriorating the notes and coins. So they've sent a delegation here to educate you and I on how we can stop all those bad habits and start learning new habits of keeping our notes and coins longer and saving our country some money. So proper handling of the Ghana currency is what we are here to talk about. And two ladies have joined me at the table, Madame Michelle Bruce Okine and Madame Sylvia Boedu. They are both with the Bank of Ghana Ladies Association. Ladies, thank you for making the time to join us.
Thanks for having us.
We know that once the governor's signature is on the note, it's legal tender, whether it is brand new or as old as can be. Why is it important for us to keep, especially the notes, the way we should? Let's start with that and then we come to the coins.
Okay, so thank you and good morning to your viewers. We need to keep the currency clean, the notes, because we have to reduce the cost of replacing notes, and we expect that we prolong the life of the notes, as the lifespan of the notes as much as possible. And then it also helps to stop the circulation of counterfeit notes. When the money is dirty, and you can see from what I have here, this is an old note, not very dirty, but slightly dirty, and this is the clean one. So you need to look, feel, and tilt. And when it's dirty like the one I have, it makes it more difficult. And also to preserve the integrity of the currency, ensure confidence, and promote the trust.
When you say integrity, what does that mean?
When you say integrity, you must have trust in the money that you are holding, that it can buy you what you are.
It's worth.
It's worth, yes. When, you know, from personal experience, when you go to the market and you bring out fresh notes, you realize that the market women even come to you and say that I'm not going to spend this money. Can you change some for me? Because they want to keep it. Mm-hmm. But when it's dirty, you and I wouldn't want to handle it. Mm-hmm. And so that is what we are talking about.
Okay. So Sylvia, tell us how we are improperly handling the Cedi. What are we doing wrong?
There are so many ways that we mishandle the banknotes. And example is we tend to write on them. Some people actually write on the banknotes. Others also tie them in their clothes.
It's wrong?
It's wrong because you would multiple, when you tie it, that means you are folding it several times, and that will break the varnish on the money. And when that happens, then we are preventing the banknotes from absorbing moisture. So when the varnish breaks, then we give it away, like it becomes very old because.
So the varnish is that.
It's a thin chemical. Like yes, it's a thin chemical or rubber that is put on the Cedi or the banknotes to cover it, to protect it.
But the older it gets, the more that thing wears off.
Well, yes,
okay.
And then it becomes very difficult to even know the security features on it. And then you get some people also hiding their monies under the carpet. You know, you get some people putting it on their bodies, that sweat and all that. And then some people also give their monies like coins to their children. They put it in water and it damages the coin. It rusts. And then there are so many ways that.
So I've made a few. Don't write on the note. Don't tie it in a cloth, and don't give it to children. Don't give the coins. Don't put the coins in water.
In water, yes.
Why is that not a good thing to practice?
It will rust. The coin will rust, and that one also causes the damage. Then it will mean we have to replace it frequently, and that will bring cost to the nation.
What about those of us who want to give people gifts, but we don't want people to see, so we just squeeze it in the palm of our hand and then exchange it quickly so that no one, especially
that is bad. We
on
would
Sundays.
encourage,
yesterday I saw some people doing that.
Yes,
when I watched the street
we would
from home.
encourage, especially in churches, to use the envelope. If you want to give somebody a gift, you can just put it in the envelope.
My offering is not envelope time.
Oh no, my church, for instance, we actually give out envelopes for offering.
Okay.
So yeah, you either have to put it direct, or if you even want to fold it, just fold it twice, like just once like this, and then you put it in.
We are learning lots of new things today. That's one proper way of handling cash. What other ways can you share with us?
Yeah, so for me, it's about the new trend of money bouquets and spray guns. And a lot of us are guilty of that. And I would like to read. The Bank of Ghana prohibits the use of the Ghana Cedi banknotes at bouquets and spray guns. And the currency is issued to be used as a medium of exchange for the purchase of goods and services. Any other use of the currency is prohibited and must be stopped. We are appealing to the public to please stop spraying of our currency notes and using them for bouquets. You realize that you have to twirl them, put them. Somebody told me that he had a gift of money and it was like a butterfly, and a tape had been used to put them together. In trying to detach the tape from his gift, he damaged them, and fortunately for him, he sent it to a bank and it was exchanged for him. We can't refuse to replace the monies, but it is a cost to the bank. So we are appealing to you to please desist from that.
Have you engaged the service providers, those who make these money bouquets? And because you're on an education and engagement drive, what has that been like for these persons who do or who make the money bouquets?
Yeah, so they have been engaged and they are stopping. When we had one who told us that, so now the money is put in a gift box rather than to try and twirl them into flowers, bouquets, or whatnot. So we are trying, we are getting there. We haven't arrived. There's this other one of putting it in the cake. And you realize that because it's money and the cake is edible, they cover it and then it comes out straight and flat. That is our aim. We don't want you bending the money in any way. We want it to be flat and straight all the time.
So if you're able to roll it onto, someone can pull it and they will all come out straight, that's okay?
No, none of them are okay. We don't roll them. From what I've seen, it's still flat and it's pulled out. It comes out like a string and it's straight. We are not saying that that is not allowed. That is not allowed. But we are saying that, you know, there are gift boxes now, lovely boxes, and then you place the money in or you put it in an envelope. And I would say you could transfer the money to the person, pay it into the person's account, or maybe go for a dummy check rather than mishandle our currency.
Tell us other proper ways you can handle. I know that you brought some things to demonstrate for us. And it's the people in the informal sector who we are told are mostly the ones who need more education. So tell us what you are demonstrating for us now.
Yeah, so here,
let me come up with this. Okay. We should make sure that we keep the money dry. So we are not supposed to touch the banknotes when our hands are wet or soiled. And we should also not put anointing oil on the money.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, some people, you get some people putting anointing oil on the money so that I don't know if...
of contact.
And then you get some people, superstition. They tend to tear the tip of the money.
Sorry?
People believe that if you tear the tip of the banknotes, then dwarfs or bad spirits wouldn't come for the money. So you get, especially the bigger denominations, you get them tearing the tip of it. And the moment you tear, you render it unfit.
I haven't heard this one.
Oh, yeah.
If you tear a
the
bit
tip,
of it,
yes.
you also not be able to steal the money. Wow. So don't do that. That is not to be done. So I'm learning a lot of things. I hope that you're also making notes like I am. Don't write on it. Don't tie it in a cloth. Don't touch it when your hands are wet or soiled. And there's more that you're going to share with us. You have an apron. Are we cooking?
No, we are not cooking. But then for market women, even caterers, those who sell food vendors. So you put this over your head and you have it. And you see, you have wide pockets. The
You want to stand and demonstrate that?
Okay, I'll do that. Can you see? So it's still here. And then you put the money. So I have specimens here. So when somebody pays you, you just put it right there. And it keeps it straight and flat. We don't want you to squeeze the money, fold it. No, we don't allow that. And then it will prolong the life of the currency notes for us. And then I have a purse here. This is my coin purse. So this is how I keep my coins protected from water,
Are
oil,
also
and
specimens, the coins?
no, those are real coins, but I can give you some if you want. And then this is a wallet for men. And then, like she mentioned, Sylvia mentioned, the envelope for church. You know, you must be intentional about this. Before you leave the house for church, you can put it in there because, you know, we don't want the one seated next to us to see the offertory we are going to
It's
give.
usually the one Cedi.
Oh yes, but
one.
at the same time, I don't think people would want to show off their 200 CD
That's why
notes,
people
and so we tend to squeeze, hide. But then we should put it in the envelope before we get to the church. Then we are comfortable picking it and dropping it in the offering bowl.
Okay, you brought us something to show us and our viewers on how we can all properly manage to keep the notes and coins safe. So let's have a look, and then when we come back, or whilst we are having a look at it, perhaps you can explain to us what we are seeing on our screens now. We'll put that up immediately, and then we can get the conversation going. This is the Bank of Ghana's message. Know the Cedi and keep it clean. That's the campaign that the ladies from the Bank of Ghana Ladies Association are here to promote. They've told us ways in which we should not handle the currency and what we should do to prolong the life of the currency, because we are told that it costs us a lot to replace one note that is damaged. So all these things you're telling us, but what if by mistake, genuine mistake, maybe I kept it in my purse like you have before you and you have as well, and it gets caught in the zipper somehow, or it somehow manages to get torn or damaged, then what happens?
You would have to go to any of the banks. They would exchange it for you, but please make sure that you have more than half of that particular note so that they can exchange it for you.
So for the exchange to work, you have to have more than half of the notes.
Yes, of the notes
that you're sending to be exchanged.
Yes.
And if it's less than that?
If it's less, they won't, because you could take the other half to another bank.
So if September and April decide to connive to take 2 pieces of a note to the bank, they will be turned away because one person does not have more than half. And if it's half,
no, because you can take the other half to another bank for exchange.
So why are you so suspicious? Ghana money, it's all about our money.
Because when it happens that way, what you are doing is that you are exchanging a single note for 2 notes. So it must be more than half. So that the other half, which is less, you can't exchange that. You just only exchange one.
But there are numbers on the notes, right? So
yes, so the same numbers.
For the bank to detect.
Yeah, but we said you can walk into any bank. So not one particular
bank. If you go to Bank A, present half to Bank A, then you can go to Bank B and present the other half too.
So it has to be more than half.
It has to be more.
But is there a way that we monitor? Because we watch all these movies and we get fancy ideas about the numbers that are on the notes. Are those things used to keep track of the monies? Is this something that happens in Ghana?
Well, yes, every note has a unique number. No 2 notes have the same number. Yes. But then the practicality of checking when you are bringing it for exchange, there are different banks, So to make it safe for us, we say more than half, so that the other half with the same number cannot be exchanged. And also, money can get burnt. If your money is burnt, you have to go to the nearest police station for a police report, and you add that to the burnt money. And the portion of the money that can be exchanged for you must always be more than half the note before they will be exchanged.
So if the fire burns all the money,
then you've lost. That is why you should learn to save in banks, send your money to the bank.
Okay, so that's for damaged notes.
Yes.
Do coins also get damaged? You mentioned rust before. Is that the only way that coins get damaged?
Basically, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And these days,
I would like to add, sometimes the coins get mangled. You don't know if people try to smelt them, put them, but I used to be a teller, and we've seen mangled coins. I don't know how they came about, and you can't
they want
use
to
them.
melt to see
I don't know what
happened.
Yeah, but yes, I've seen a mangled coin, defaced coins, and you can't even see any of the writings. I've seen that before.
So for coins, it's not to put it in water. What's the other safety tip for keeping coins? By all means, keep it in a purse and don't put it in water. Are those the only 2?
And then make sure that you don't leave them for children to swallow.
And then don't bury them too.
Don't bury the coin.
Even with the notes, some people bury the notes
for safekeeping.
Listen, there are ways we can tell a real from a fake, but with technology and the way things are, changing very rapidly, sometimes it's hard. And you are here to tell us some foolproof ways to verify the authenticity of the notes that we carry. So share some of those tips with us so that when we go about transacting business, we'll know that we are getting the real deal.
There are so many ways to identify fake from the genuine, to distinguish between fake and the genuine. But for the public recognition, I would try to mention 3. So the first one is the watermark. The watermark. The watermark, you find it at the plain star. When you lift it, you see that the image of Tete Kwashi is in there. But when you lift it up to the light, then can we give you one to check?
So lift it up.
When you lift it up to the light, you will see the image very clear. And then there is also a cocoa pod in there. And under the cocoa pod,
number 50.
Yes, you see the denomination number there.
That's called the electrotype.
That is the electrotype. And then beside the plain star, you see that round white. When you look on it normally, you see the number half. You won't see it full. Just put it down and then flat. When you look at it, you won't see that the number is full.
It's as if part of it has been wiped away.
Yes. But when you lift it to the light, you will see it in full. And at the back too. It's in front and at the back. Yes.
I see it now.
And then we have the security thread.
Okay.
And that one, it is a thin strip line that is embedded in the note. So when you lift it up to the light, it has to be straight. But when it's a fake or a counterfeit, they'll just print a line on the note. It can be embedded in the banknote.
I would want you to show that to the camera. We're projecting it on the screen, but for people to really understand what we are doing, let's see if the camera can capture what it is that you're trying to tell us with the security features. Take us to
okay, the first one I said the watermark.
So point at it for us.
The watermark is the plain star, the side. When you lift it up to the light, you have to see the image of Tetekwashi in there. And then beside the head of Tetekwashi, there is a cocoa pod. And under the cocoa pod, you have to see the number of the denomination under the cocoa pod. And then right beside the plain star, you have this round, small, white thing there. When you look at it normally, flat, the number, which is the denomination number, comes in half. You won't see it fall. But when you lift it up to the light, it becomes full. So this one that I have 100 Cedis. So I have the number 100 in it. And when I turn back to, the number should be there. So that one is the see-through feature. Yes. Then the third one that I will talk about is the security thread. And that one I said, when you lift it to the light, it has to be a straight line. It is embedded in the note. But when it is fake, they can't do this. They will just print a line on the note.
I think that makes a good education. So we found ways that we can spot a fake from the real. And the only way we know that a currency is fake, for most people who don't do the checks, who don't hold it up to the light and do all that, is when perhaps at the bank or at one of these more high-end chains, we are going to buy something and then we find that we present monies and we are told that the monies are fake. And so then we have to either return the items that we picked off the shelf and go back empty-handed. And sometimes you are even lucky when the fake is handed over to you.
It should not be handed over.
What happens when you come across a fake currency note?
You have to go to the nearest police station and report. And they'll guide you on what to do.
The person that I'm going to buy something with my 50 Ghana, the 50 Ghana turns out to be fake.
Yeah.
It's handed over back to me.
I think you have to seize it. You take it
Who has to
So
seize
if it is a shop, I'm sure the shop owner would give your money back to you, because I don't know if they have the authority or if they can call the police to come there. Because honestly, I really don't know the real way we handle it. But when you come across a fake, you have to go to the nearest police station. But I'm wondering, if you are in a shop, who does that? Is it the shop owner? Whoa. And I'm sure, from my experience, when you encounter anybody with counterfeit and you are able to detect, they even don't want to take it. They want to leave the place. They wouldn't want to.
I've seen shop owners paste counterfeits in their shops.
Yeah, they are not supposed to do that. No, and then they perforate them. All those things are not allowed.
They are not allowed to perforate them.
No, whether it's counterfeit or not, because you can't use your naked eye to determine if it's counterfeit. That is why we are advising that you go to the police station.
But you just told us how we can use our naked eye to see if the money is counterfeit.
Yes, but when the money is dirty, and when it has been used, for instance, if by accident you've washed it, it was in the pocket of your clothes and then you washed it, it might lose some of the features, the sharpness in which you can use the naked eye to detect. So that might not be counterfeit, but then you won't see the features to determine. And when they are worn out and dirty, it's very difficult to determine genuine notes from counterfeit notes.
So unlike mutilated notes, you don't get a refund of counterfeit
no,
cards.
definitely not.
So then how do you encourage people to return their monies, and how are they traced so that we are sure that they can be removed from the system?
So when you identify counterfeit, you take it away from the person. You are using it to buy money, something from me. You hand it over to me, and then I detect that it's counterfeit. We should call in the police. And now there's police visibility. I'm sure you can get a policeman easily. And we know the numbers. We have to let people call the police.
Okay, I'll ask you to share some of the numbers with us very soon. But let's talk about the 1 Ghana for your pockets very quickly. The notes, we are seeing fewer and fewer of them in the system. Is that deliberate?
Yes, I would say for the past 2 years, the Bank of Ghana hasn't issued 1 Cedi and the 2 Cedi because we want to replace it with the coins. So what you are seeing now is the old ones that are still circulating in the system. And as time goes by, the notes would fade away. We want to use the coins instead.
Because you're talking about coins, do you pay attention to the lower denominations of the coins and how the public somehow has decided that some of them are not legal tender anymore, especially the 1 peso coins, the 5 peso coins, and increasingly sometimes the 10 pesos. You find that you are in maybe a church or you are buying something, you need to pay with some coins on top. You give them those ones, they return it and say, no,
no, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's all legal tender, and it is issued by the Bank of Ghana. And legal tender, it simply means we are required to accept it and use it for transactions. So under no circumstance should anybody reject any coin.
And if somebody does, so you're going shopping, somebody blatantly refuses to accept the coins, obviously you need the product that you're paying for. So chances are you may just give them what they are asking for. But what happens if people just refuse to use the coins?
That's why we are appealing to the public that the coins are also legal tender. So please accept it. It is meant for transactions, so please accept it. We are just encouraging people to accept it.
Is there a law that can compel people to accept or to use the coins that they are unwilling to use?
Because when you say something is legal tender, that means it has legal backing. So when you take it up, you report that I walked into this shop or I was buying this thing and the person refused to accept some of our coins as legal tender. You report and then the matter will be taken up by the police. But we are begging, don't go fighting people. You see, that's why we are embarking on this education. We will go to the market, we'll go to the doorstep of those who use money and coins, cash notes and coins for their everyday transactions, and then we'll appeal to them.
All right, I'll take quick words from both of you and then we wrap. What's your last word on how we should handle our notes and coins? And those who spray and then some of us will be stepping on it and dancing and all. They're saying we should stop. So final word and then we write.
I would say that we should always remember the cleanliness of our currency reflects the image or a beautiful image of our country as a whole. So we should all endeavor to create a positive financial environment and then represent our country with pride by valuing, caring, and keeping our banknotes crisp and very clean. Thank you.
Right, Michelle?
Yes, so I'll go back to my prohibition of the use of the Ghana Cedi banknotes and coins for unconventional uses. Our new trend of money bouquets, spray guns, we are appealing that you desist from that. It is for economic transactions and the payment of goods and services. So please keep the Cedi clean, use your purses, the apron, and your envelopes, and it will go a long way. Thank you.
At this point, since I took it on air, let me return the specimen. Don't come and say, Thelma, where's the 50 notes you took from Michelle?
Yes,
but Michelle, thank you so much. Michelle Bruce, so kind. and Sylvia Boedu are both with the Bank of Ghana Ladies Association, educating us this morning on how we can use the notes and coins safely. Take all coins, okay? So I'm going to find all my 11p that people have. I'll force them to take it or report them to the police. So use the coins in a way that will not cause them to get rusted or, just lose their features generally. Use the notes also safely. Do not spray. Do not make them into bouquet guns. And the Bank of Ghana ladies are on a drive to educate all of us on how we can use our notes safely.